Hey guys, what is going on today? It is a very exciting time to be a Call of Duty fan. We have, of course, got the Season 1 update, which is very exciting. This did add two new weapons to the game, which is the Cooper Carbine and I believe the Gorenko anti-tank rifle. Now, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 best class setups that you can be running in Season 1, but both of those weapons will not be featured on this list. I've only unlocked the Cooper Carbine and I've not actually had a chance to play with it yet. The update did go live at 4 AM my time compared to how they used to go in Cold War, which is about 2 PM-ish. 2 PM to 5 PM. So we've had to get the cup of coffee out this morning and yeah, we're gonna make some videos here. Just before we do get into it here though, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. We are pretty close to 6,000 subscribers and if we could get there before the end of the year, that would be absolutely massive. So I would really appreciate it if you could help me out there. Plus, while you are there as well, make sure you hit the like button too, because that really does help get these videos to as many people as possible and helps cut through the YouTube algorithm, which is just absolutely massive these days. So let's take a look at the top 10 best class setups that you should be using at the start of Season 1. So this list is going to be in no particular order here, but again, we're going to start off with that combat shotgun. This really is probably still the best shotgun option in the game. You get like a 20-ish meter one-shot kill with this thing, and you just absolutely chunk people from way up close. We do start off with that M97 full choke here for a tighter pellet spread, meaning those pellets are tighter and closer together when we do fire them. Then in the barrel, we're actually taking the sawed-off barrel for an increase to our damage movement speed, and give us a wider pellet spread, which is not super beneficial, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But you can also take the Framble number 3 for hipfire accuracy, recoil recovery, and hipfire recoil recovery as well as a secondary option. In the optic slot, we do have the M38 Slate 2.5 times custom. I don't think this really makes too much of a difference, but you can get some nice little picks with the slug rounds, as we're about to talk about in a second with this particular scope. Then we move to the CG C3 meter adjustable for the 2+2 hour hipfire accuracy. And the sprint to fire speed increase is also very nice here too. Then we have the SMLE pistol grip for the +2 to our sprint to fire speed again, as well as a little bit of an increase to our hip fire accuracy. This is really what this gun is all about. Of course, it's a shotgun. Then in the magazine slot, we are going for the 16 gauge 10 round drum here to give us the most amount of shells to fire with this thing. There is also a case to be made for the 12 gauge 5 round tube to give us an increase to our damage range, but this is a real pain to reload, so just keep that in mind here if you do choose this. Then in the ammo type, we still go with the buck and slug because this does give us the best of both worlds here. If we do choose to aim down sight, the slug will actually fire very close to the center of the reticle, meaning you are going to get some decent long shot kills here. Then in the rear grip slot, we do have the pine tar grip for the hip fire accuracy again from this particular attachment. Recoil control is not super relevant here. You can also take a fabric grip as well for just a sprint to fire speed increase as well as hip fire recoil recovery, so this is up to you. And we round this off with momentum here. Being able to get that speed increase when we do get a kill is actually very cool here, but you can also take frenzy for health regeneration when you do get a kill. And then in the kit, we do have quick here for increasing our sprint speed. Moving on here, we do have the MP40, which is still capable of getting that 2-shot kill, I believe. Again, those attachments are as follows with the M1929 silencer here for the sound suppressant and that accuracy increase. Again, this helps keep us on target with that horizontal recoil control increase from the accuracy. Then the Krausnik 317 MM04B. This barrel does increase our horizontal recoil control by a whopping 40%, which is absolutely massive for keeping us on target here. Then we have the slate reflector here for a nice clear sight picture. I also would recommend taking a very large iron sight here in one of the Krausnik options here. This does give you a very nice clear sight picture as well, and also gives you a little bit of aim down sight speed. Then we do have the VDD34M for an increase to our horizontal recoil control of +3, as well as a little bit of aim down sight speed, keeping us on target when we get those sights up. Then in the underbarrel slot, we do have the M1941 hand stop here for recoil control and accuracy. This is probably the best sort of underbarrel attachment for most SMGs and most assault rifles here, so we're going to see this bit a lot. Then we do have in the magazine, we have the 8mm Curse 32 round mags for the increase to our damage. This does take our damage number to 46 per bullet, and when we do sort of include the hollow point as well, when we get increased limb damage, that allows us to get that 2-shot kill occasionally when you do land those limb shots. In the rear grip, we do have that fabric grip for aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, and that hip fire recoil recovery. Then in the proficiency, we're actually taking unmarked here for a silent footstep after we do get killed. This basically acts as a mini dead silence effect, which is actually really cool. And then in the kit, we do have fully loaded here to give us the most amount of starting ammo here. Moving on here, we do have a very fast killing weapon that did used to be broken before the Season 1 update. This thing used to be able to get a 2-shot kill with the ammunition and of course the vital perk, but you can't do that anymore. But this thing does still kill quite quickly. I think it's about 170-ish milliseconds worth of TTK, and that is of course the Type 100 if we didn't mention it already. Again, very similar to what we have seen previously in that M1929 silencer for the accuracy and that sound suppression. In the barrel, we do have the Shiraishi 374mm, which does increase our ability to hit shots here. Also gives us a little bit of flinch resistance as well as increasing our horizontal and vertical recoil control by 40% each. Again, in the optic slot, we do have that slate reflector here for a very nice clear sight picture. I probably wouldn't take a larger iron sight with this thing, as I don't think they're as clean as something like the MP40. Then in the stock we go with the Shiraishi T100 here for a +3 to our horizontal recoil control again, as well as that aim down sight speed, getting those sights up nice and quickly. Underbarrel again, we have that M1941 hand stop. Recoil control and accuracy is a very nice combination here. In the magazine slot, we do have the 30 Russian short 30 round mags here for a +2 to our damage, which is an absolutely massive increase, giving us 40 damage per bullet. Does reduce our fire rate slightly, but that's not too big of a deal. When we do hit that target, we are absolutely chunking people here. In the ammo type, we do have lengthened here for giving us that +3 to our bullet velocity. This does help us with our hit detection, which is very, very important for SMGs, as it is usually quite low. In the rear grip slot, again, we do have the fabric grip here. Aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed are the major draws with this particular attachment. Then in the proficiency slot, we do have unmarked here for getting those silent footsteps when we do get a kill here. But again, sleight of hand is also a good option as well. And then as usual, we round this off with fully loaded here to give us the most amount of starting ammo here. Then we do have the STG-44, which honestly I think is a little overrated in this game. In terms of that TTK value now, it is actually like a little bit slower than some of the other weapons on this list. But again, it is still ridiculously easy to control. It does pretty decent damage and it kills quite quickly. It's not one of the fastest killing weapons in the game anymore, but it's still pretty good. So again, we start off with the MX silencer here for the sound suppression and the accuracy. This is basically the same attachment that we mentioned for those SMGs previously. Then in the VDD 760mm barrel, we have this for, again, that highly controllable, accurate gun. This does increase our horizontal recoil control by, again, a massive 40%, making it very, very easy for us to hit those shots here. In the optic slot, we do again have that slate reflector here for a very nice clear sight picture here. I feel like this is the best attachment or the best optic for some weapons, but not others. Again, we'll talk about that more when it does come up. This stock, we do have the VDD 27 precision. Again, that horizontal recoil control increase is absolutely massive here, as well as getting those sights up nice and quickly as well with that aim down sight speed. The underbarrel, we do actually have the M3 ready grip here for an aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed increase, as well as aim walking movement speed. This is just a really nice attachment for most assault rifles here. Then in the magazine, we do have the 30 Russian short 30 round mags here, again for the damage increase, the bullet penetration, the velocity, and the damage range as well. Ammo type, again, we do want lengthened here for a very nice increase to our bullet velocity. 1380 meters per second is absolutely fantastic for hit detection here. Rear grip, we actually take the polymer grip here for a +2 to our flinch resistance, meaning we can hit as many bullets as possible when we do get into gunfights with people. This basically just makes us more accurate when we are under fire here. In the proficiency slot, we're actually changing it up. We don't really want vital anymore, as there's no interaction similar to the Type 100 between the magazine and of course the vital perk. So we're just taking something simple like sleight of hand to increase our reload speeds. And then as usual, we do round this off with the fully loaded kit here, giving us more starting ammo. Then we do have the Automaton, which is my absolute favorite weapon in the game here. This thing kills ridiculously quickly with the right attachment class setup, man, which we're about to talk about. Again, starting us off here, we do have the MX silencer here for the sound suppression and the accuracy. Very simple. We did already mention what this does a number of times here. Then in the barrel slot, we do have the ZAC FA short. This increases our damage, a very simple attachment here, but it does take our damage number when we do combine this with our magazine attachment, which we're about to talk about in a second, to 39 damage per bullet at 759 RPM, which does actually sit at about 158 milliseconds worth of TTK, and it gives us a 3-shot kill lightning fast here. This is a really, really good attachment here. And of course, we do combine that with the magazine, which is the 8mm Klauser rifle 50 round mags here. Again, damage, bullet penetration, ammo capacity, as well as bullet velocity and that damage range. Again, combines with, of course, the barrel to give us those damage numbers, which are absolutely lovely with this particular weapon. Again, the optic we already have mentioned previously. You can pick and choose whatever you do prefer. We like the slate reflector here. Then the stock, we do have the ZAC skeletal for, of course, aim walking movement speed. This is absolutely massive with this thing. Being able to aim down sight and move around the map quite quickly still is really, really important. Underbarrel, as we have mentioned previously, the M1941 hand stop for the recoil control and accuracy increases. Ammo type, we do have lengthened here for the bullet velocity increase, taking our bullet velocity to, again, 1380 meters per second, which is fantastic for hit detection. In the rear grip, we do take that polymer grip again for the +2 to our flinch resistance, but again, there are other options like the fabric grip that you can take to get those sights up more quickly here. Then in the proficiency, we do take tight grip for, again, accuracy and recoil during sustained fire with this thing. Because you do have a large magazine here, you can continue to fire for quite a long time, meaning you're going to be quite accurate here. And then we do again round this off with fully loaded here for the maximum starting ammo. Next, we do have a gun that is a little bit slept on here, and that is the MG42. We haven't actually featured this class setup in a video yet, but we are very, very close to doing it, so keep an eye out on the channel for this one. Basically, the MG42 does allow us to get a 4-shot kill at basically 1,000 rounds per minute, which sort of equals out to about 177 milliseconds worth of TTK. For an LMG, that is lightning fast here. Again, starting us off, we do actually have the Mercury silencer. We do not want the MX silencer here despite its accuracy increase, because this does reduce our aim down sight speed. The VDD 680mm 31M barrel, of mouthful with these attachments. Again, increases our horizontal recoil control by 25%. Moving on, we do have a different optic to how we normally do. This is the G16 2.5 times. This gives us a ridiculously clear sight picture here, as well as a nice choice of reticles, as well as a nice little increase to our recoil control and our accuracy here. So this is a nice boost too to help keep us on target and get those shots down range. Then in the stock slot, we do have the VDD skeletal here for the aim walking movement speed from this thing. When you get those sights up and you just start trudging around, moving kind of slowly because it is an LMG, you can just mow people down. This thing feels really, really good when you are having those sights up already. The underbarrel, again, that M1941 hand stop is quite a good option, but there's also something to be said for the SMLE pistol grip here for the +2 to our sprint to fire speed. In the magazine slot, we do have the anti-material 125 round drums here. This does give us an increase to our bullet velocity and our range, as well as bullet penetration, and increases our damage number, allowing us to get that 4-shot kill damage number of 25 at 1016 RPM. Again, gives us that 177 milliseconds worth of TTK. Now, I'm not sure what actually happens in the game, but I remember seeing the ammo type be unavailable when we did have this thing equipped, but when we're in a custom sort of lobby, you can actually add an ammo type here, which I think is a little strange. I'm not 100% sure if it did actually get changed or not, but if you can run an ammo type with this thing, I would definitely recommend running out lengthened here. In the regroup slot, we do have again the fabric grip, aim down sight speed, and sprint to fire speed are particularly important stats for increasing on an LMG, because you do move around and get those sights up quite slowly here. Then we do have the proficiency, we do have tight grip here, again accuracy and recoil during sustained fire, but there's also a little bit of a sneaky option to be said for frenzy here, which does get that health regeneration where you do get a kill. And when you are continuously firing this thing on those close range maps, this thing is absolutely ridiculous at just constantly regenerating health. You take some damage, you just get that health right back, and you don't have to stop firing. And then, as you can probably expect, we do have in the fully loaded kit slot. This is pretty simple because we do want more starting ammo here. Next, we have another weapon that is a little bit of a sleeper hit in this game, and that is the G43. Now, you can actually make this thing fully automatic, but it's actually kind of bad, so don't run that. But run the 2-shot kill variant that we're about to talk about here. This thing, you will absolutely dominate when you get those sights up. You can just walk around the map very quickly, and it is a lot of fun to use. Attachments, again, are the MX silencer, again, for the sound suppression and that accuracy, a very simple attachment that we've already talked about a lot. Again, the ZP770mm precision, again, highly controllable and accurate, basically gives us an increase to our horizontal recoil of 45%. In the optic slot, we do have one of two options here, and that being the slate reflector for a more close range optic, but again, the G16 2.5 times is also very, very nice as well, giving us slightly longer zoom when we want to get those 2-shot kills at range. In the Wyvern skeletal stock here, this thing does give us that aim walking movement speed we were talking about previously, as well as increasing our general movement speed as well as our sprint to fire speed here. This thing's very, very important for this particular weapon, as you will want to be walking around with your aim down sight held up most of the time. The underbarrel, we're actually going for the M1930 strife angle grip for a +2 to our accuracy, but again, the M1941 hand stop is also a nice option for recoil control and accuracy. In the magazine slot, we do have the 30-06 10-round mag here for increasing our damage, bullet penetration, bullet velocity, and our damage range. That does take our damage number to 50, which is absolutely ridiculous with this thing. 2-shot kills are lightning fast here, so this is very, very fun. Keep those sights up and get those shots down range. Again, ammo type lengthened, of course, for bullet velocity increase of 30%. Gives us really, really good bullet velocity here. Polymer grip in the grip slot again for flinch resistance, as well as that accuracy when we are sustaining our fire. Then the tight grip from the proficiency. There's not really great options in here, which is a little unfortunate, but sustained accuracy recoil when you do get that fire on target is really nice. And then again, fully loaded here for giving us more ammo here. Then we have the NZ41, which is a very, very nice weapon here. Again, this thing does have that sort of interesting firing mechanic where you can fire over about 5 or 6 shots, and then the recoil does sort of kick in. But once you sort of unlock the attachments for this thing, it does actually lessen that, and it's actually really, really fun to use this thing. MX silencer, again, we already talked about this so much, we're not really going to talk about it too much more. In the barrel slot, we do have the Orb Weaver 360mm BC. Again, that highly accurate and controllable weapon increases our horizontal recoil control by 40%. In the stock slot, we do have a couple of different options here. We really do like the LOR reinforced, just so we can get as many of those initial shots on target as possible. In the underbarrel slot, we do have, again, the M1930 strife angle grip for that accuracy increase, but again, the M1941 hand stop is very good too. Then in the ammo type, we do have lengthened here for the bullet velocity increase of 30%. Then the polymer grip, you can again take the fabric grip as well. This is a pick and choose option. I really like both of these. Then in the proficiency slot, we do actually take something different in pinned here. This does increase the flinch we deal, meaning people will have a harder time fighting back if we do land some bullets on them. And then of course, we do round this off with fully loaded here for the maximum starting ammo. Down to the last two here, and that is the M1928. This thing is a 3-shot kill at a decent clip. Does manage to hit that 170-ish, 180 milliseconds worth of TTK, which is basically the benchmark for fantastic weapons in this game. Again, M1929 silencer for the accuracy, we talked about this already. Very, very similar barrel attachment, making us highly accurate and controllable for a 90% increase to our horizontal recoil control. This thing is insane. This thing is an absolute laser beam here. Then again, that slate reflector, again, very nice clear sight picture here. You can also go with something like the sort of larger iron sights or the medium iron sights with this kind of thing. I'd recommend the large ones for aim down sight speed. Then the CGC wire grip here for the aim walking movement speed and the aim down sight speed, as well as a little bit of an increase to our recoil control as well. Then the M1941 hand stop, again, we spoke about this for recoil control and accuracy. 8mm Kurz 50 round drums or the 100 round drums if you do want to be a little spicy here and basically have an LMG with sort of SMG movement speed stats. Lengthened in the ammo type, of course, for the bullet velocity increase, a very simple one as well. Then in the rear grip, we do have, of course, the fabric grip, aim down sight speed, and sprint to fire speed. We have Frenzy in the proficiency slot for getting that health regeneration after we do get a kill, but there is something to be said for sleight of hand as well, as this thing does have a relatively slow reload speed. And then again, we do round this off with fully loaded for more starting ammo again. And then we do round this off with one I think is one of the best guns in the game that we did make a video on the other day, which is the 2-shot Volks Gerver build, which I think is actually a very, very cool gun in this game as well. Technically, the 2-shot on this thing does require you to wait for the entirety of the burn damage to go out before you fire that second shot. So the 2-shot's not super realistic here, but you can actually get a nice amount of 2-shot kills if you do sort of get into interesting gunfights. Say you shoot somebody and then they duck behind a wall, they poke back out quite quickly, you land that second shot and you'll get a very quick kill here, so just keep this in mind. Again, starting us off here, we do have the MX silencer again. We already spoke about this like 15 times in this video already. Brausnik 428mm05B does make us highly accurate and controllable. A 40% increase to our horizontal recoil control is super nice with this thing. G16 2.5 times scope again, just for a little bit more range on our assault rifle. The Reisdorf 22V adjustable one for the aim walking movement speed status with this thing is really, really nice for getting us around the map slightly more quickly here. And the M1941 hand stop, again, recoil control and accuracy. 30 Russian short 45 round mags, again, bullet velocity, range, damage, and bullet penetration, as well as having a larger magazine here. Does take our damage number to 39, and when we include that burn damage, we also get a nice little kick over to about a 2-shot kill. 39 is the minimum damage number this thing can do. Then, as I was talking about, that 2-shot kill actually does come from the incendiary damage, as we talked about. This adds about 9 burn damage to our weapon. If you get any more than 39, you take it to 41, you add 9 damage to the shot. Again, you're getting a 2-shot kill if you do let that burn damage play out, which again, happens more often than you think. Then in the grip, we do have the fabric grip here, aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. Then we do have sleight of hand, because this thing does actually take a little while to reload, so this is a nice boost. And we round this off with fully loaded here for giving us the maximum starting ammo. So that is going to do us here, guys. These are the top 10 best class setups in Vanguard Season 1, which is absolutely fantastic. The new maps that they've added and the new guns, they're all fantastic. I'm loving this update, man. Very, very exciting time here. Again, shame about not having the Cooper on this list, which I think is actually one of the better guns in the game. We'll have to wait and see with the attachments on that thing. So if you do want to see the best class setup for that, as well as some map guides on the new maps and everything, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do very much appreciate it, and it really does help me out. We are trying to hit 6,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and if you could help me achieve that goal, that would be absolutely huge. So again, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!